there was this kingship tussle between the President Obi and his brother John. Before then, we watched a video where the former Obi, the father of the present one, said the President Obi is not his first son and should not be the king. But on our own, we thought he was just, maybe he hated his son. So we thought. And then we came together and said he must be the Obi. We wanted to disobey what the father said previously. So more like we formed a cartel, gathered people, then there was a slogan, two groups, the rice and beans group. More or less the rice group, they were more in number. We went around everywhere and made people to believe that what the former Obi said was wrong. And then we started going around campaigning, more like they believed us. And then we were able to, I was in the forefront. And we fought tooth and nail and made a lot of people to support him. So I was in the picture from the first day, even before he became a king. There was a meeting in my house where he came from Ogwash with his wife, and then he called me to a corner. A meeting was going on in my house. He told me that I know his aspiration, that he will want me to be his PA when he becomes the king. I told him, let me think about it. He said, no, what are you going to think about? Please accept that offer. Then I accepted to be his PA. So I became his PA even before he became the king. So the truth of the matter is that it is the Onise, it is the tradition of the people of NSUKWA that the Onise is the one that crowns the king. And I also remember that even before he became a king, like I said, we were campaigning around. A few of us, Posse was there, and some other persons. We visited the Onise, begging him, we pleaded with him that on the 30th of March 2010, when we slated that he will be crowned, that please he should be prepared to crown him, and he refused. He said there was an injunction, and the daughter, being a lawyer, advised him not to do anything contrary to that order, that he should not crown him. We brought drinks, but he refused that he won't crown him. So we thought of an alternative, and that was how we went to one John Akabali for the crowning. I was the only one with him in the small hut where the Akabali was, only myself and himself. Before we got into the hut, he begged me. He said I should ensure that one photographer they call SS does not take any photograph here. The whole idea was that we didn't want our opponents to use it against us in court, because there was already an injunction. So if you ask him today, there's no single picture. Even children in kindergarten school, children, even when they want to do their graduations, small children in primary schools, they wear gowns to show that they graduated or they moved from one class to the other. Ask him if he has any single picture. He has none to show. That will tell you the legality of what we did. There's no picture to show. Today, ask him to show you one picture. None. Because I ensured that SS did not make a snap, did not take any picture of the whole event, knowing that if the picture gets to our opponents, they might use it in court to show that we've crowned the king. So, coming back to your question, in NSUKWA custom and tradition, it is the Onise of NSUKWA that crowns a king. A king that is not crowned by the Onise of NSUKWA, to me, is like a man who is walking on the street. So that's the position.
At the time this exercise was going on, were you conscious of the fact that people were circumventing the normal process?
Yeah, of course, that's correct. Everything we did was illegal, because I remember that morning on the 30th of March 2010, he called me very early in the morning because there was something we were looking for. They call it the Ofo. We felt that the other people may have hidden it. because they were also itching to use it if they win. So he called me very early in the morning to say, come to my house. I rushed to the place. He said they found the offer that it was hidden in one ceiling in the house there. They found it, but he didn't show me. But I think the whole idea is just to make me believe that what we will use for the whole crowning process, it was complete. But I got to find out that he just hoodwinked me with that. We never used any offer in the crowning.
You are a chief in the cabinet. On a lighter note now, and there is this outcome, a court case that has established the Onitsha, and that portends a lot for. We cannot at this time now say this is how it is going to pan out. Let's suppose he is being deposed as the king. What does that portend to your chieftaincy title? On a lighter note.
Two wrongs as far as I'm concerned, there's never one single right. If a king who has not gotten a cap on his head, because the cap traditionally is what makes him a king. So in my opinion, he also has no right to put a cap on anybody's head, including myself that has put a cap on his head. So what that means is that if he's finally removed, if a new king comes, we'll beckon to him, we'll ask, because the chieftaincy title I'm holding belongs to my quarter. So the process will, they call it de novo. We'll go back and start all over again. That's just what it means.
So in the final analysis, you're not at any time worried about the outcome?
No, I'm not worried about the outcome because the right thing must be done. That is what is more important. It's not whether I'm a chief or I'm not a chief. What is important is to get the things that are right, do it rightly. So like I said, I'm not a chief. They still call me a chief because they know I've gone through that process. But finally, I know the court that gave that judgment, they are not wrong. They did the right thing because it was like the judge or whoever was in my mind. No, I was just wondering, this woman, how come she could just articulate all these points? Because, of course, everything we did was illegal. I remember we met Edwin Uzo. I think he's the chairperson of Peace Building and Reconciliation and Peace Building. I told the chairman of the local government, there was a time they called us to a meeting. I told them that, look, let me tell you, the truth is that everything we did is illegal. About 9 traditional rulers from Anyocha, they've also called us to a meeting. I remember in one of their recommendations, they said, yes, from what they've seen, it is very, 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 very wrong for Anobi to come here and say it was crowned by one man. In Anyocha tradition or custom, it is Donisha everywhere. Ubulukogwa, Shuku, Etem everywhere. It is Donisha that crowns a king. And when the matter came to the fore, they told him he must tread softly. He must go back to your people, find a way of resolving this issue. Because for you to come here and say you were not crowned by Onisha, it's like the court read their mind. The court now ruled exactly what the king said. They signed a document, a resolution, that he must go back to the Onisha to be crowned. But he said Mike Amukma is not the Onisha. But today the court has ruled that Mike Amukma is the Onisha. So the man he claims to have crowned him is not the Onisha. Invariably, he's not a king as far as I'm concerned. So if he knows the right thing to be done, let him go ahead and do the right thing. So for me, I'm not bothered about whether I'm going to leave my position or not. But the thing is that when the right person crowns me, I will not recognize myself as a king. But for him to have crowned me, I am an illegal chief as well as he's an illegal king.